What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you the smooth 3D transition on Funimate. The apps you're going to need is of course Funimate, and the second app is PicsArt to edit your images and to get your stickers. But before we start editing, let's go to PicsArt first and edit some photos, add some shadows. I will be using Liza as my example for today. By the way, I got these images of her from her Instagram account, if you're wondering. So once you get to this part, click on add photo and pick an image of her. Once you've selected your image, you want to enlarge it, and on the bottom over here you want to click on shadow. Then you want to have blur and opacity at 100 to make it pop more. Right next to shadow is border. You want to click on that. We want to exterminate the outer part and enlarge the inner part. That's that, and click next. When you're done, save it and download it to your gallery or photos. Then we want to go back to PicsArt to edit another photo of her the same way we did on that one. Click on add photos and select a different image of Liza. Then basically just edit the same way you did on the first one. Once you're done with that, let's go to Funimate, and I will be using my main account. I could have used my second account, but this transition idea is completely free, so don't worry, most of my YouTube videos will be focusing on non-pro stuff on Funimate. So select the two images that you just edited from PicsArt and select the square format. As you can see over here, there is no background, so you want to click on that square underneath clips, and I picked this tannish yellow background because it kind of matches the outfits that she has in these two photos. I'm done expanding the duration in these two photos, so I clicked on that line in between those two photos, and I clicked on 3D flip. 3D flip is free. Then I clicked on this arrow pointing to the left. Then you want to place that clip to the right side and then click on animate, then custom, and on position you want to add a starting point, and as for your second point, you want to move it all the way to the left. And this is how it should look like, but as you can see, that 3D flip is in the middle. We want it at the end. To fix that, you want to click on this half C keyframe, and as you can see, that 3D flip is at the end. Then when you're done with that, let's go back to PicsArt and get a plain white background, a square one, then click next and save. Then go back and get another square one, except it's going to be this yellow darkish one. Another thing we need is stickers, so you want to go back and click on that transparent background, then click sticker, and you would look up flower aesthetic. As you can see, there's a ton of options. You can pick any of these of your choice, but I picked this tropical plant one. Then I clicked on apply, clicked next, and I also saved that on my photos. Then I went back to Funimate. Once you're on Funimate, click on that plus sign, then click image, and you want to pick that yellow square one. We don't want it to be on top of everything, so we want it behind the clip. So I dragged that down underneath clip, and I placed it like that. Then click on animate and custom, and I want it to start in the top left corner, so I dragged that over there and I added my starting point. And as for my second point, I dragged it down, but I want to time it whenever the 3D transition happens, so I placed my second point there. And that is how it should look like. And we want it to be smooth, so click on that keyframe, and I picked that half C one again, and that should make it smooth. But as you can see over here, there was a slight problem after the 3D transition happens. It moves slightly, and we want it to be as smooth as possible, so I went ahead and fixed that. The first thing I did was to delete that second point, and I placed that second point there instead. Then I clicked on keyframe, I added that half C one, and that looks better. But the main point of showing you this part is that basically editing is trial and error. If you try one part and it doesn't work, then you try another one to see if it works, and that's how you make a good edit. Then the next thing I did is add that white square. I put it behind my clip but in front of that yellow square, and I placed it like that. Then I clicked on animate and custom, and as my first starting point I dragged it right there, and as for my second starting point I dragged it out like that. Then for my keyframe I used that half C again, and so far this is what you should have. Then the next thing we're going to add is that tropical plant one. Then I placed it right there in the middle. It totally depends on you and how or where you want to place it. Then I clicked on animate, custom, and scale. And as for my first starting point, I had it at 0. And as for my second one, I had it at 104. And for the keyframe, I used the half C. And this is how it should look like. Right here, I'm just adjusting the clip. I made it bigger because it kind of looked a little small. After that, I went back to PicsArt and edited another photo of Liza. And I'm basically going to edit this one the same way I did on the first two photos. So I clicked on shadow and I had it both at 100, and for my border I exterminated the outer part, and for the inner part I made it look bigger. Once you're back on Funimate, click on that plus sign, add image, and then pick that image that you just edited. On this one, we want it to come out whenever that clip is doing its 3D transition. So at first, we want it behind the clip. Right now, I'm just looking to where that clip is doing its 3D transition, so it's right there. So I'm going to have it start right there. Then I clicked on animate, custom, and position, and I added my first starting point, and as for my second starting point, I had it come out to the right. And for the keyframe, at first I used half C, but it did kind of look a little off, so I went back and used this one instead. And that's it. If you want to add some more pizzazz to it, you can add some flowers or maybe more shapes. But that's how you do a free 3D smooth transition. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And please remember, at 10K subs, I will be having a Funimate contest with Funimate merch prizes. So stay tuned to that. But if some parts of this video were a little confusing to you, please comment down below and I'll try to help you. And if you have tutorial ideas for me to do, please comment down below. And also, one more thing, if you stayed till the end on my last video, I had you comment a star with your Funimate username on it for a shout out, and these are the people that commented. So shout out to you, Rachel_Duncan, it's Desiree, Babygirl_Anna, Aliana, Lynette 2001, Bubblegum, and Charlie's Dunkin' Donuts. So if you want a shout out on my next video, comment a fire emoji next to your Funimate username. And yeah, you guys have a good day or night, wherever you are.